Welcome to Kalamazoo, Michigan, a city of 75,000 and home to one of two remaining railroad interlocking towers in the Wolverine State. This is where BO Tower still stands guard over the rails of Kalamazoo, including Amtrak's Michigan Line. We start our day at BO with train 351, which passes by the tower en route to Detroit from Chicago. The New York Central constructed the tower in 1915 using a 44-lever Saxby and Farmer interlocking machine. On September 9, 2014, less than a year short of the tower's centennial, Amtrak signalmen officially retired the interlocking machine, converting the operation to a modern signal system set up for positive train control and remote operation. Today, to control the signals and power-operated switches, the operators use local control panels located within the tower. Sometime around 2017, when the new signals have been installed all the way to Detroit, Norfolk Southern will turn over dispatching to Amtrak and the operator's job will be abolished. But for now, a tower operator still controls the area and today gets Grand Elk Train 105 moving not long after Amtrak passed through. A short time later, Amtrak's Blue Water calls on BO on their westbound run from Port Huron to Chicagoland. West of the Interlocking's limits, the Amtrak Michigan Line begins. On this portion of the former Michigan Central, Amtrak installed GE's ITCS positive train control system and operates the 8 daily passenger trains at 110 miles an hour over much of the distance between Kalamazoo and Porter, Indiana. After meeting 365 at Glenwood, Amtrak 350 rolls into Kalamazoo and makes their station stop. Moments later, the engineer has them rolling east once more, passing through the interlocking and onto the MDOT-controlled portion of the line, which runs until Town Line on the outskirts of Detroit. Shortly after noon, Grand Elk Train 303, the Grand Rapids turn, was ready to depart Gearhart Yard. The tower operator quickly had them underway as he watched from atop the massive snow pile south of the junction. When the tower was built in 1915, it controlled portions of the New York Central, Grand Trunk Western, Pennsylvania, and an interurban railroad. By the 1970s, all trackage at the interlocking itself was under Conrail control, with the Grand Trunk still running a few trains in BO's limits south of town. NS acquired all the Conrail trackage in the breakup, and in 2009 leased the main line from Grand Rapids to Elkhart to Watco, who operates it under the Grand Elk Railroad banner. Eventually, Norfolk Southern left Kalamazoo completely, and Grand Elk now provides all freight service in the area, including control of Botsford Yard, now renamed Gearhart Yard. Outside the direct control of the tower is Gibson, located south of the main interlocking. Grand Elk is the primary user of the hand-thrown connections there, and crews must be in constant communication with BO as to the status of those turnouts. All in all, the tower orchestrates around 20 movements a day, a far cry from the tower's heyday in the early 1900s. Perhaps the only reason the tower has remained open is the reluctance of Conrail and later Norfolk Southern to renovate the plant to modern technology due to the low volume of traffic. Thus, it wasn't until the Michigan Department of Transportation stepped in to To make a higher speed passenger corridor out of the Michigan Line, the BO received the modern upgrades. Once the train reversed clear of Gibson, the crews relined the switches for the main line, and BO Tower got them a signal ahead over the Michigan Line. After 303 was clear of Gibson and the rest of the BO plant, Grand Elk 302 was ready to finish the run from Elkhart. We see them from atop of another snow mountain with a Wisconsin Southern unit leading a home road SD40-2. About an hour later, Amtrak 353 storms into Kalamazoo. Next up, with their work completed, was Grand Elk 105, who got their route back up and around to Gearhart Yard. The last train of the day before nightfall was Amtrak 352, which set off all the crossing lights on approach to the station. With their station work complete, 352 gets a clear signal from the tower, and they continue towards their destination in Detroit. Once controlling many dozens of movements per day, BO Tower is barely surviving in an age of new technologies and traffic volumes far below historic levels. By 2017, NS will hand over dispatching duties to Amtrak, at which point BO Tower will close for good, leaving Delray Tower in Detroit as the last true remaining interlocking tower in the state of Michigan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the Thornapple River Rail Series.